Today we're going to be going over a deck that hasn't been seeing much play, but I feel like it has a lot of potential. One person in my locals, they play Dogmatika, and today we're going to be looking at Dogmatika with a few extra tech cards in here. So first off, let's go over the main deck. We have two Dogmatika Fleur-de-Lis the Knighted. Very good interruption, and it also is a monster negate on summon if you control a Dogmatika monster. Dogmatika Ashen is if a Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link monster is sent to the graveyard. Except during the damage step, you can special summon this card, and if this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one Dogmatika card in your graveyard, except Ashen, and add it to your hand. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can make all Dogmatika monsters you currently control gain 500 attack, so you'd be going up to 3,000, 25, 2,000, 2,000, and 1,000 apiece, plus this being 4,500. Next up, we have two Dogmatika Maximus. This is banish a Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link from your graveyard, special summon it from your hand. During the main phase, you can activate this effect. Send two monsters with different names from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, your opponent sends two from their extra deck to the graveyard. Also, cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. That's absolutely fine. You're using this to get a lot of advantage that you need. Afterwards, we have double Dogmatika Ecclesia the Virtuous. This card searches any of your Dogmatika cards from your deck to your hand, so you could legit search out most of your deck. And then we have three Ash Blossom, double Droll, and triple Veiler. Next up, we have Dogmatika Albazoa. This is the big bad boss monster. Cannot be special summoned except by Dogmatic Calamity or another Dogmatika card effect. Dogmatika monsters you control are unaffected by the activated effects of opponent's Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, and Link monsters. During your main phase, you can make your opponent choose and apply one of these effects. You, in these effects, mean your opponent. For every 2 card in your extra deck, send 1 card from your hand or extra deck to the grave so it can rip total of 7 cards for the first time, and then it gets less and less every other time. Or return all Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, and Link monsters you control to the extra deck. So either it's a board wipe or an extra deck wipe, which I really do like, being a 4K boss monster level 12. And we're on 2. Then we have White Knight of Dogmatika. You could ritual summon this card with Dogmatic Calamity. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck if your opponent activates a card or effect except during the damage step, you could send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. And if you do, look at your opponent's extra deck and send 1 monster from it to the graveyard. This card gains equal to half the combined attack of those monsters sent to the graveyard until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect or this effect of White Knight of Dogmatika once per turn. This is just a type of form of interruption so you can peek at your opponent's extra deck and crack some cards out of there, which is pretty nice because on turn 1 you're able to knock out, I think it is total of 12 cards maximum, but I'm not too sure on that. Then we have White Relic of Dogmatika. It's the exact same thing. You can ritual summon this card with Dogmatika Macabre. If this card is ritual summoned, you can target 2 face-up monsters on the field. Make one of those monsters gain attack equal to the other monster's attack. Level 8 or higher Dogmatika monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. And if a monster is special summoned from your opponent's extra deck, except during the damage step, you can look at your opponent's extra deck and send 1 monster from it to the graveyard. So another way of getting rid of cards from your opponent's extra deck, which is very, very good. After that, we have Triple Nadir Servant, being able to pitch a card from your extra deck to the graveyard to search out a Dogmatika monster with equal or less attack, which is very nice. I'm personally running 2 pre-preparation right because it can get to your Calamity or Cabre, depending on which one it is. And this card is not searchable by it, but these 2 are, which is quite nice. We have 1 Call by the Grave. Gotta have it, just in case. 1 Duality. This is a new card that came out in Battle Legends Monstrous Revenge. Tribute 1 light or dark monster. Special summon 1 light or dark monster from your hand or extra deck with the same original type and level, but a different original attribute. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one light or dark monster in your graveyard, shuffle both into the deck, then draw one. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, being able to target a light and dark monster in your graveyard to shuffle both into the deck to draw one is very useful because you can recycle all your extra deck cards, or even you can recycle your main deck cards as well if you need to. This card is very, very versatile because you can tribute off something like Dogmatika, Fleur-de-Lis, Ashen, or Maximus to summon out things like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, because they both share level 8 spellcaster, and it comes in handy time to time. After that, we have Dogmatika Matrix. This card adds a Dogmatika ritual monster or ritual spell from your deck to your hand. Then, if your opponent controls a monster, you can add one Dogmatika card from your deck to your hand. So being able to get one search or two searches is very, very good. And once per turn, if you control a Dogmatika ritual monster, you can look at either player's extra deck and send one monster from it to the graveyard. And you can only activate one Dogmatika Matrix once per turn. So essentially, two searches or up to two searches and being able to look at your opponent's extra deck is very, very powerful. Very, very strong card for Dogmatika in general. Next up, we have Dogmatika Calamity, which is a way to summon out your Dogmatika ritual monsters. You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total level equals the level of the ritual monster you ritual summon, or send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard whose level equals the level of the ritual monster you summon. So it's a Necros Kaleidoscope for Dogmatika. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. You can only activate one Dogmatika Calamity per turn. And we also have Dogmatika Cabre. You could really exchange them playing two of this and one of this, or one of this and two of this, or two and two. That's really all depends on you. Dogmatika Cabre, same deal. You could tribute from your hand or field and or banish fusion or synchro monsters from your graveyard whose total level equal or exceed the level of the ritual monster you are ritual summoning. Then, if both White Knight and White Relic are on your field, you can either look at either extra deck and send one monster from it to the grave. So, this is a Necros mirror, but also with the added effect, if these two are on the field, you could rip a card out of your opponent's extra deck, which is very strong. We have one Dogmatika Punishment. You could run two, you could run three. It's all player preference. Everyone knows what it does because Labyrinth play it, but for the people who don't, you target a face-up monster your opponent controls, send one monster from your extra deck with higher attack than that target, and destroy that monster. Until the end of your next turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, and you can only activate one Dogmatika Punishment per turn. So, essentially, you're sending this to send Elder Entity, Herald of the Arclight. You could even send Garura. That's why I have it pulled up over here, because it's another valuable target. So you can get a draw, which I really do like. You can even send Golden Cloud Beast, because you target a face-up card your opponent controls and return it to the hand, which is very, very versatile. And I really like the card. It's super powerful, but in multiples, it is not. For the rest of the main deck, we have triple Imperm and double Dimensional Barrier. Very, very standard and very interesting main deck. And then for the extra deck, we have the one Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, because we could summon it off Duality. We have Grand Golgonol, because we could send it and banish this card, so we can summon out a Dogmatika monster from our deck, which is very, very useful. Double Titanic Clad, because it searches out your Dogmatika monsters, very good. One Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. This only matters because you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target one monster on the field, destroy it. So that is very useful. We have double Elder Entity Natis, which is just sending off a punishment or really anything just so you can get another destruction on the board. We have one Despine Lulu, because you could send it off of your pretty much anything that you need to. It's a 2500 attack, so it does quite a bit. But during the end phase that this card is in the graveyard, because it was sent there this turn, you can special summon one light spellcaster monster from your deck or hand whose attack equals its own defense. So the target is Ecclesia. Very, very good target, and also Fleur-de-Lis. So you have two pretty strong targets already. After that, we have the one Golden Cloud Beast. This is just for if it's sent to the graveyard, target one face-up card your opponent controls, put it back into the hand. Triple Herald of the Arclight. If it's sent to the graveyard, you get to search out a ritual spell or monster. We also have the Almirage, Secure Garden, and Artemis. You could technically go into Almirage because Ash Blossom, Droll, and Effect Veiler, and Secure Garden is just there, but you can really just cut those for something like double Garura if you really need to. And then we just have the one Artemis because it's there as a link monster, but you could also cut it for something else. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and let's just do a test hand so I can show you some of the things that can happen in this deck. So luckily Omega has this very good AI, I should say. So all we're just going to do is activate this, and the one that we're going to be adding to our hand is going to be this Dogmatic Calamity. Since we can send a monster from our extra deck to the grave, we're going to activate Dogmatic Calamity, summon out Zoa, and we're going to send Lulu, which is very, very good. And we get Zoa, and we're going to activate the effect, and as you can see, the AI just sends a total of 7 cards to the graveyard. Then we can activate this, and we're just going to confirm our extra deck, so we could just send a Titaniclad, set the duality, and pass the turn. And we have a couple triggers. We're going to get the Titaniclad to add our Fleur-de-Lis, and Lulu is going to special summon a copy of Ecclesia from our deck. They're going to do whatever they can, and we're currently locked because we don't have a card that we could utilize, but we're going to be summoning out the Ashen, and we're going to use the effect of Ashen to grab this back. We're going to activate our duality, tributing the Ashen to summon out Dragoon. As you can see, it pops up. And we're going to go Calamity again, and we're going to tribute off Fleur and our Ecclesia. We're going to use duality, putting back the Lulu and the Titaniclad, so we can get a draw 1. And we could just go Calamity if we really want to, confirming the extra deck, sending Arclight, and doing whatever we want to. Essentially, this deck is just I attack with big monster and it's game. That's just a sum up of what the deck does. If you guys want to see a full-fledged video on me playing the deck against actual people, comment down below, because I'm definitely wanting to test this deck out more and get it more solidified than what it is right now. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. I hope you guys did enjoy, and see you guys in the next video.